you may be aware that this week is Learning at Work Week, and we thought what better way to celebrate this week would be to talk about our own learning journey. So joining me today are our Head of Operations and Quality, Michela Sumner, and our newly promoted Events Manager, Geneva Thomas. And I think that's a very nice place to start, really, is to kick it off with Geneva and let her tell us a little bit more about her journey within professional development and her new promotion. So
right, hello Amy. Right, so I started in professional development as an events coordinator, and this was in March 2019. And whilst I had experience in the training industry, events coordination was a different aspect for me. Most of the knowledge that I had before was how to implement training, but not how to actually organise an event. So the first year of my career within professional development was really getting to grips with how to coordinate an event, how to liaise with venues and other suppliers, how to build relationships with our tutors and our delegates as well. And within that year, I was then promoted in March 2020 to be an events manager for the team. So that went from really just planning events and managing my caseload to more the strategy of how can operations, how do we develop operations, and how can I manage a team. Yeah. So within that, the learning that I've learned within professional development really is how to manage a team, how to devise a strategy for a team, how to deal with like financial issues like budget sheets, and also allocation. So they're the main aspects that I've learned within professional development.
And it's a great career journey for you to be on. And I suppose you've worked very closely with Michela, who I said is our Head of Operations and Quality. And within the last 6 months, within your department, you've kicked off virtual, and it's astonishing, isn't it? So
it's been a very interesting journey. Yes, it's as you said, we had to adapt our business model completely. Like Geneva mentioned, we used to be our office used to be venues. We used to be at venues all the time, or organising events and actually delivering most of our training courses and networking events. When it came to April, we decided to move everything to virtual, and we decided to go with Zoom as a platform. And since then, we've become stronger and stronger. We started with a team of 2 events coordinators, and now we're looking to hire our 7th. Is that correct, Geneva? So it's as I said, it's been a journey of adapting most of our training portfolio from face to face to virtual. But as you mentioned, very, very successful journey. So yeah.
And it's not been as straightforward as going from face-to-face to virtual, has it? There's been a lot of learnings in the middle. There's been a lot of tutor learnings. There's, internally, there's been a lot of learnings for us as a team. So when it came to our tutors, how did you bridge their skills gap? Because not every tutor is designed for virtual training, are they?
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right there. Yeah, we spent most of our the months of April and May to guide through our tutors on how to use Zoom, the engagement tools, adapting the content as well. So all those exercises that we used to do in the physical classroom have been adapted to the virtual environment. Some of them were quite easily replicated with the use of breakouts, whiteboards, and exercise groups that you're able to do on Zoom. But nonetheless, it's been a very hard journey to try to, as I say, to adapt those exercises and contents to the virtual environment. But very successful again, and the tutors have been very collaborative in this, which has been fantastic. Our wider tutor community has really got together, shared lessons learned, tips, and they're all together by a WhatsApp group where they communicate regularly. So yeah, very, very, very good journey.
I mean,
and just following, oh, sorry, Amy, I was just going to say, just following up from Michela as well, I think one of the main things that sets us apart from other training companies is the fact that we do have the dedicated coordinators always there from beginning to the end of the course, with our delegates. So we don't just do the pre-course planning, we actually sit on the events. We have every morning we have morning meetings with the tutors so they can let us know what assistance they require, if they need assistance with breakouts, assistance with sending links, sending materials. And that is really evident that it helps the tutor to just relax and actually just teach the course, whilst the events coordinators can look out for things in the background which may take away from, which could take away from the delegates learning, but it doesn't.
I mean, it's almost like you read my mind, because I was literally about to ask you a very similar question. But, you know, I think it's been such a great 6 months for INPD as a company. And I think everything that we've achieved together, the way we've grown as a company, it is quite staggering when you look back. It's been a great journey. A lot of learnings, promotions, a lot of lessons that we've also learned along the way. But I think for me, I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, because you're in it more than me, what are the benefits of virtual learning, would you say?
I guess, you know, from a customer's perspective, you're learning from home. You don't have to actually go to the physical venue or wherever trainings were taking place previously. You can learn from the comfort of your home. It can be fit in within your work, family schedule. It's a very easy way of doing it. On the other hand, as well, you know, the way we also try to promote our courses is to embed the networking element, which is still present in the virtual classroom. We encourage, as I said, the use of WhatsApp groups. With this pre-course communication, which is managed by Geneva and a team, and all that networking and facilitation as well with the tutor in the WhatsApp groups and in the Zoom classes really makes it as near as possible to a physical classroom. And
I mean, it's one of those things, like, sorry, my voice is now going. It links very nicely in with Learning at Work Week, because I think a lot of people think that shift from face-to-face physical classroom learning to virtual, they're going to lose a lot of interactions, and that's simply not the case, is it? In fact, you gain more, you get more time with your people, with your tutor, learning in a comfortable environment. I think
you're right. You know, the feedback has been absolutely incredible, and delegates have really been enjoying this new way of learning. And as a business, we are really we're thinking to really continue this even after the pandemic, because it has really highlighted an opportunity for us, which you know, in a way, the pandemic highlighted as this opportunity to us. And in a way, learning remotely was already something that was present as part of our business model. We after the delegates attended the class, they have to pursue the qualification. They can pursue the qualifications if they wanted to, and that's all been done remotely anyway. So in a way, we were already using this business model before. We just adapted it and increased it and perfected it. So yeah.
And I think just,
you guys.
And I was just going to say, I think following on from Michela as well, it's just also our delegate interaction. As with any course, whether it's face-to-face or virtual, what you put in, you take out of the programme. And I think it was quite a pleasant surprise for delegates as they were thinking it's virtual, it may be a bit more anonymous, but we've just tried to replicate as much as a face-to-face environment. So having your webcams on, just making sure that you're taking part in discussions, the same as you would in a face-to-face environment, but it is a case of what you put in, you take out. And I do feel like with the virtual, because people are more relaxed, whether that is because they're in their own environments or they're not actually confined to a particular space, they do like to share their examples, and that really comes back in our feedback that it was a pleasant surprise, or they had one mindset that it wasn't going to be a good experience, and they've really come out of the other side. So that's really nice for us to see as well.